I know one thing, that I know nothing. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Man is the measure of all things, of things which are that they are, and of things which are not that they are not. As to gods, I have no way of knowing either that they exist or do not exist, or what they are like. There are two sides to every question.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
No man ever steps in the same river twice.
There is nothing permanent except change.
It is not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages.
Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster. We love life, not because we are used to living, but because we are used to loving. The snake which cannot cast its skin has to die, as well the minds which are prevented from changing their opinions, they cease to be mind.
You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength.
The fact that a believer is happier than a skeptic is no more to the point than the fact that a drunken man is happier than a sober one. Beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance.
We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
Both optimists and pessimists contribute to society. The optimist invents the airplane, the pessimist the parachute. The longer I live, the more convinced am I that this planet is used by other planets as a lunatic asylum. Nations do not die from invasion, they die from internal rottenness.
It is easier to build strong children than to repair a broken man.
Laughing faces do not mean that there is absence of sorrow, but it means that they have the ability to deal with it. All the world is a stage, and we are merely players.
Gods always behave like the people who make them.
I cannot remember the books I've read any more than the meals I have eaten. Even so, they have made me. To argue with a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead. A body of men holding themselves accountable to nobody ought not to be trusted by anybody. If everyone is thinking alike, then no one is thinking. War is when the government tells you who the bad guy is. Revolution is when you decide that for yourself. We are all born ignorant, but one must work hard to remain stupid. It is the first responsibility of every citizen to question authority. So remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and hold on to that childlike wonder about what makes the universe exist.
The sky is not the limit. Your mind is.
It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. What people commonly call fate is mostly their own stupidity. The most tyrannical of governments are those which make crimes of opinions, for everyone has an inalienable right to his thoughts. The highest activity a human being can attain is learning for understanding, because to understand is to be free. No amount of evidence will ever persuade an idiot.
Politicians and diapers must be changed often, and for the same reason. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see.
Mostly it is loss which teaches about the worth of things. I came like water, and like wind I go. Give me a flagon of red wine, a book of verses, a loaf of bread, and a little idleness. If with such store I might sit by thy dear side in lonely place, I should deem myself happier than a king in his kingdom.
Failure is not always a mistake. It may simply the best one can do under the circumstances. The real mistake is to stop trying. The major difference between rats and people is that rats learn from experience.
Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants.
Nothing disturbs me more than the glorification of stupidity.
A wise man proportions his belief to the evidence. If God is omnipotent, omniscient, and wholly good, whence evil? If God wills to prevent evil but cannot, then he is not omnipotent. If he can prevent evil but does not, then he is not good. In either case, he is not God. When men are most sure and arrogant, they are commonly most mistaken. The life of man is of no greater importance to the universe than that of an oyster. Religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature, a heart of a heartless world, and the soul of soulless conditions. It is the opium of the people.
We walk by faith, not by sight.
It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change, that lives within the means available and works cooperatively against common threats. The most important factor in survival is neither intelligence nor strength but adaptability. The world will not be inherited by the strongest. It will be inherited by those most able to change. And remember that the love for all living creatures is the most noble attribute of man. I have never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him. And don't forget that Two truths cannot contradict one another.
You only know me as you see me, not as I actually am. And patience is the strength of the weak, impatience is the weakness of the strong. I'm Ludwig Feuerbach, and I like to tell you something. It is not as in the Bible that God created man in his own image, but on the contrary, man created God in his own image.
My name is Sophocles, and I'm one of the most celebrated Greek playwrights. And remember that you rather fail with honor than succeed by fraud.